Hey everybody, RockPaperMario here, and welcome back to Let's Craft Minecraft. Jeff Goldblum. Let's last video we were in this beautiful little area that I happened upon. I just love this whole I'm looking forward to kind of doing some fun stuff with this up here. You know, it's like not every day you get to have like some sort of Himalayan peaks in your back garden. So I'm looking forward to doing something fun with that. But we pretty much got started on my project, which was kind of like to try and make some sort of replica of the house that I live in, as inspired by Mini Minchino's Minecraft builds videos. And I did actually do a little bit more off screen, so I'm just going to show you now. I didn't do all too much, okay? So I did kind of like do some of the outer facade. I was mostly doing like boring stuff, which like what am I going to do? Talk about? I'm covering all of this outside with this terracotta, and then just do it. You know, I did some like boring stuff like that. Um, but inside, I actually did kind of like start completing the mapping out of this room, you know. I decided to stick with the terracotta. Minnie gave me the tip of like the concrete, but actually the more I look at it, I kind of like this dull, subdued tone, and that's the kind of look I'm going to end up going for in here. So I have the nice big window, completed the floor, finished mapping out this living room area for now, anyway. And I actually got a start on in this room in here, which actually this room has a pond underneath, not for long, but this room is actually going to be the kitchen. So that's what it is. That's what it is at the moment as well. It's not going to be anything. It is a kitchen. So I pretty much started like mapping this out for scale. And what we have in here is what's called, I don't know what it's called in other countries. In Ireland we call this the hot press, which everyone's going to be like, what? But in Ireland we call this the hot press because it's the press, or where you and actually press, you're not even going to know what that means. Press is like a cabinet or a closet or anything like that. That's what we call it here. So it's a press, like a cabinet or closet, which is hot because normally what's in here would be like the hot water tank, you know, and the immersion boiler and things like that. So that's the hot press. And then I have a door here, which will be going out to the back garden. And then I have a door here, which will be going into the bathroom. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. Now, I did make the decision to kind of like go a bit weird on the scale on some things. So I decided to make like the door going outside and the doors going between these two rooms. I decided to make them a little bit larger just because it looks more, when you look at like the scale of the building, like it's huge, so it doesn't make sense for the door to be this tiny little 2-block high thing. And actually the scale is a little bit out of whack, but as long as the sizes of the rooms I think are like comparable to each other or proportionate to each other, I think that's like the main thing. So yeah, that's pretty much what I did off screen. Also over here there's like, at the moment there's like a little fireplace, so with kind of a little shelf on top, so I started like mocking up that, I guess is that the term. I started like mocking up that so we could get started. And actually I don't even think that like blast furnace feature, that blast furnace thing, okay, music, just turn off, thanks. Music is acting very weird. I don't think like that blast furnace thing was even in the game the last time I played it. There's like a couple of things that are new since the last time I did Minecraft. So, but I did start getting into like the old rhythm of some of the stuff like from back in the day on the server. It's a shame that like I did ask Alan and Kyle and Katie a couple of times about like, are the files from that server still there or anything like that, or even are any of the old videos that Katie made still there, because some of the videos are there that Kyle made on the Sweet Victory channel, but the ones that Katie made on her channel aren't there, you know. And for those of you who are wondering what I'm talking about like Minecraft. Like my first major foray is the first word that came to mind. My first major foray into Minecraft was actually um, was actually to the Minecraft server that Kyle and Alan, so Sweet Victory and Awesome Sauce, had going, right? And the I'm going to explain what I'm doing here in a second. I need to like finish this story. My terrible habit, as per usual, of just like never finishing stories. But they had for quite some time had like a Minecraft server running, which a couple of us used to like hang out on, and it was a creative Minecraft server, which I love because that's what I like, is creative mode. So they had that going for quite a while. And we built so much stuff. Like we literally, like Katie and I, for primarily, we used to build together pretty much. Like we would spend hours, and I'm talking, this is like when I was in college, so I was able to stay up until the middle of the night because I didn't have work the next day. And as well, because Irish college system, I used to have like 6 months, 6 months a year off, or like 4 months a year off, or something crazy like that. Like when I think about it now, no wonder I was able to spend so much time LPing, you know. Like if I had that much time off, like I pretty much remember like the course I was doing. It's so dark in here. I need to like fix this because I can't see like my face in the dark. I can't find my face in the dark with both hands. There, that's better. It's crazy how like dark this game is all of a sudden. Look, I didn't even notice that was green and not purple navy sort of color. So yeah, no, like the course I was doing, I was able to. I pretty much there were no exams. It was all continuous assessment. So I used to be off for like April, May, June, July, August, September, pretty much. It's obscene. Like when I think now of like my life, my working life as a working boy, you know, it's just crazy. It's just crazy to think of it now. But yeah, that's beside the point, I guess. So yeah, we used to like build a lot. Like we spent hours into the wee hours of the morning, pretty much building things. And you can probably guess what I'm building here, actually. But for example, we built like a giant cathedral. We like, I think the most like crazy thing we did was we literally like dried up a whole portion of the sea just so that we could build an entire pirate ship under the sea, then bury it, like half bury it in sand, and then flood it all so we could make a sunken ship. And like the top masts were like sticking out of the water. It was like the craziest thing. So yeah, that was like that was our I'm just going to make the stairs here, by the way. That like there was so much stuff that we made on that. I made like an entire floating island. Um, I made like an entire floating island. I'm just trying to figure out like I should like map out what a couch is going to look like, since a couch is going to be like here probably, and then the stairs can start here. I think that's a good place for the stairs to start. Um, So yeah, we spent so much time like on building stuff on there, um, and it's a shame because it's like all gone now. But actually, you know what? I probably could have afforded to start that a little bit further away. Um, there. Does that make sense? No, that doesn't make sense because there's like I think I'll have to go like one block higher. There we go. except not there. Jesus, I can't like do anything today. To be honest, like this mouse that I'm playing with, here's where the excuses start. This mouse that I'm playing with isn't like, I really don't like that. That needs to be like 3 wide. This mouse that I'm playing with isn't like the best for what I'm using it for. So it's like a mouse. It's basically the Apple Magic mouse, which I normally love. But it doesn't have a scroll wheel, right? For those of you who've used like the Apple Magic mouse, it doesn't have a scroll wheel. You just kind of like stroke. This sounds like so bad. You just kind of like stroke the the mouse itself, and that kind of like does the scroll wheel function, you know. Jesus, these stairs are really getting on my last nerve. They're so finicky. Um, So yeah, that's why if you see like it, and it has like a hair trigger. So like if you see, which I like, because normally I like a mouse to be extremely sensitive, but if you see it like randomly selecting things when it shouldn't like select things, then that's what's happening. Is that the apple, or like if you see me like overshooting blocks that I want to use, that's pretty much what's happening. Just so that you know. Um, So yeah, I'm just like building the stairs here, and I will have to remember that even though the ceiling is white concrete, so that means that there's going to be something here, and then there's going to be stairs here because the wooden floor is going to be here. So it's like you have, that's probably what's making it so chunky, is that like everything has to be like twice as thick as everything as it actually is, if you know what I mean. So yeah, this is basically the house. It has like 2 rooms upstairs. It's what we refer to as like a 2 up, 2 down. That's literally what people refer to it as, houses like that as, because it's like a very standard old fashioned type of like terraced house. Because actually I never even explained that. Well, no, I am not going to explain that yet, because I'm finally going to like, I know this is like my thing, isn't it, as an LPer, is just to kind of like fucking start trains of thought and then never follow up on them. But um the the I'm going to finish that story about like the Minecraft server. That is what I'm going to do. Um, the All of those videos are gone that were recorded, so it's a shame that I can't show you that stuff, because I really would have liked to show some of that stuff off. It was like, so I was so proud of it. I think we were both proud of it. So it was really cool. And it's kind of, it was like a cool part of my life, I guess. I guess that's what I want to say. Um, so now back to the matter at hand. The uh, the the house is what is like actually really old. Like I never actually explained this part, but the house itself that I'm currently living in is actually like well over 100 years old. It's like an old like the street that it's on. This house and the house that it's like attached onto are actually the two original houses that were on this street. Like, believe it or not, the 2 houses that are next to each other, like that are joined onto each other here, are actually like the first houses that were here. And that's why like this part at the back, I never explained that, but this part at the back is not actually original. So the original house is literally just this room, and the 2 rooms upstairs. Hence the colloquial term that we refer to it as, which is a 2 up, 2 down, right? Um, so the old part of the house is like over 100 years old. This part was built on at the back, the bathroom and the kitchen, and it would be, I'd say, about the 1970s is probably when it was built, because it's like one of those real old fashioned Irish extensions which has a flat felt roof. So like the thing is, the house, I wouldn't refer, it's not a fixer upper, right? Cuz so I don't refer to it as a fixer upper, because to my mind, like, a fixer upper is something where you have a lot of, like, I mean a lot of work to do to make it livable, right? But this house, even though there is quite a bit of work to do and it needs quite a bit of TLC in order to bring it into the 21st century, it's very much livable. Like, there is nothing wrong with this house whatsoever. I was able to pretty much, as soon as I had, it doesn't have all of the modern comforts, I'll put it that way. Just like all cards on the table, it doesn't have all of the modern comforts. It has a bath instead of a shower, which is kind of awkward. The doors, like the front door and the back door, are like old wooden doors, so they're very drafty, and the are like old wooden doors, so they're very drafty, and the windows are like single pane, like single glazed windows with wooden frames. So they have like zero insulation or anything. So there's a lot like that's very old fashioned about the house, in that like it like living is the same as like as in like nothing has changed in this house since like the 1970s or 80s. Like, there was no internet here when I moved in. I had to get like internet. Not only I didn't not only get like an account, I had to get it like installed. There's only water, like there's only running water in the newer part of the house. So literally only the kitchen and bathroom have running water and things like that. So it's, as I say, like pretty much just like everything livable, but just nothing modern. Everything is all like it's very kind of like as I say, not like it just needs some TLC to be brought into the 21st century, is the way I'm going to put it. So um what I really love, so one of my favorite things about this house, though, is, and this is what's interesting, is despite the fact that it's a really old house, right? There's actually something very modern about the layout of it. Like, when I told you, like, here, when I took down that wall, you get this kind of very modern open plan sort of style where everything's opened up and you just have these shelves here. I took the door going out into the kitchen, so that kind of opened that up as well, and you have these really nice high ceilings. And then coming upstairs here, and this is something that's really interesting to me, and that I like, one of the things that I fell in love with about this place is that when you come up here upstairs, there isn't actually a landing, right? You basically come upstairs and there's what's referred to as, word of the day, a mezzanine, right? So there's no landing. You literally like come upstairs and you're in like a new room. So it's all very like open. Um, and I'm just going to like build up this wall so you can see, kind of have a better idea. And we'll have to like put a door here as well. To go into the bedroom is what this is going to be actually. Um, so the bedroom is in here, and then like in am I going to do? I'm going to leave that open because like it just looks better. Like, it looks better to have that kind of like three, in terms of like scale, I guess. It just makes more sense. But the and then this ceiling is extremely low, because what this is upstairs, like this wouldn't have originally be this would have been what's referred to as the loft. So like just like an empty space above the main living area of the house. So the main living area would have literally just been like those rooms downstairs originally, and then like up here would have been the loft where you may have slept pretty much, or just like stored stuff, when life was simpler. So the the ceiling, as a result, so the ceilings downstairs are extremely high, but the ceilings upstairs up here are actually just extremely low, like so that the with the effect that myself being 6 feet tall, like almost exactly, I actually kind of am at like the limit of how low a ceiling can be for it to be livable. Which, as you can see, like this is where like the slope of the roof is going to be pretty much, which is crazy. So that's what I love. You have like this really kind of like, even though it's a very old, charming house, there's something very unique and open about the style of it because, like, the bedroom is in here, right? Well, actually, at the moment, the bedroom is here because I'm renovating this room in here. Okay, so there's nothing happening in this room at the moment in real life, but this is where the bedroom is going to be. And what I want to do in here, right? I'll explain actually what my plan is. My plan is for this to be the kind of like the welcoming living room and dining room. So dining room table here, which I have there already, and like a sofa here and coffee table, right? So that you can have your cup of coffee, or when people come over, you can sit down and have your cup of coffee or a cup of tea or whatever. In here, I'm planning on being where like maybe a sofa bed is. And also all our books and everything like that. So pretty much like a study come guest room pretty much. And then what I'd like up here in the mezzanine sort of room, my plan is actually for here to be more of like the private sitting room or living room, so that you have like your nice sofa here, your television, your like games, your DVDs, whatever, so that it's actually kind of away from the normal living area, which I very much like the idea of that. I don't like it when you walk into someone's house and it's dominated by a television, you know, and then that this would be the bedroom. So I'm actually going to check really quick how long I've been recording for. Okay, I've been recording for like 23 minutes, so I don't want to go for like too much longer, especially since I feel like I've explained quite a lot, and a lot of the stuff that I'll want to do now, I'll probably do off screen. So yeah, the I'm glad you guys enjoyed the first video. Thank you very much for the warm reception after such a long time. It's nice to see like this taking shape, I guess, which is cool to see. I'll probably like off screen, I'll probably do more of this block work and pretty much get the outer shell finished, but I don't think it's actually going to take that much longer to get this place done, funnily enough. I think the figuring out how I want to decorate is going to be the bigger thing. So I guess we'll close out by watching a sunset from the incomplete shell of the house. Thank you very much for watching this part of Let's Craft Minecraft. I actually have some time over the weekend, so I'm thinking I might start thinking about what I want to record as like a new LP. There are a couple of ideas that are floating around my mind, so with the swelling music and the setting sun, thank you for watching. I will see you next time, and bye now.